starts right now.
It's what you'd call a terrifying scene. A man brutally attacked by dogs in his own yard. Tonight, we're going to hear from those who helped to save that man's life. But first,
another one of our officers was shot by an individual who is a repeat violent offender and should have been in jail.
you could hear the frustration in San Antonio Police Chief William McManus's voice. 6 officers shot in 5 separate incidents in less than 2 weeks. The night team's John Paul Barajas takes us through this latest altercation between suspects and officers.
SWAT officers in San Antonio police units swarmed a Southwest Side neighborhood as they surrounded a wanted suspect who they say opened fire on an officer.
Not scared, but it makes me uncomfortable, like really uncomfortable, because you shot an officer in our backyard that's not even yours.
Sofia Aguilar was on her way home when SAPD got her number from a neighbor and let her know a suspect barricaded himself in her backyard after being chased by police.
As he was chasing him, he was ambushed. The suspect picked up a sawed-off shotgun from somewhere and hit the officer as he turned the corner.
SAPD, the anti-gang unit, covert officers, and others took the suspect into custody. In the end, 1 officer was hurt. No one else was injured. Aguilar is relieved she wasn't home during the chaos.
Lucky, because we were so tired this morning when we were actually going to go to the shop, and I looked at him and I was like, should we go? And then we were finally like, okay, let's go. But we were so close to not going. We were going to stay here.
But Chief McManus was visibly upset as he spoke with media about today's incident, the 5th shooting altercation between a suspect and San Antonio police in the last 12 days. Chief McManus says today's suspect was wanted on 2 felony warrants. Those include aggravated assault and repeat violation of a protective order. As for the injured officer, that person was taken to the hospital for surgery. Late tonight, we confirmed that officer is in stable condition. John Paul Barajas, KSAT 12 News.
Here's a look back at recent shootings involving San Antonio police. Back on August 24th, 3 officers were hurt in a shootout that turned into a standoff. Police took the suspect into custody. He now faces multiple charges, including aggravated assault on a public servant. 6 days later, August 30th, SAPD was involved in 2 separate shootings. Officers shot and killed a man they say shot at them first. 1 officer was hit but survived. And then later that night, officers shot and killed a suspect in an unrelated incident. SAPD says the man pulled a gun and ran before they shot him. A detective was hurt, but police later confirmed he accidentally shot himself while chasing the suspect. And last night, police shot and killed a man wanted for aggravated robbery. At the time, Chief McManus said the man was armed and, quote, may have shot at officers. But just hours ago, a spokesperson with the police department said the suspect did not fire his weapon toward police. So in each of these cases, the San Antonio police chief raised concerns about the suspect's criminal history and also asked whether they should have been out on the streets. Last night, the chief said the man killed by officers, quote, should have been in jail. Today, Bexar County District Attorney Joe Gonzalez responded, saying the man was on parole. He was released from prison back in May. Gonzalez went on to say, quote, the decision to release him from prison was made by the Texas Board of Pardons and Paroles. Prior to last night, the offender did have a previous criminal history, but not a criminal history sufficient to hold him without bond. Switching gears now, the first day of the Ken Paxton impeachment trial is over, and let me tell you, a lot happened. The suspended attorney general pleaded not guilty, and the first witness also took the stand. Now, one side is saying that the facts are going to show the suspended attorney general abused his power. The other side is saying that all of those accusations are false. During opening statements, both of the sides threw jabs at each other.
Mr. Paxton has been entrusted with great power. Unfortunately, rather than rise to the occasion, he has revealed his true character. And as the overwhelming evidence will show, he is not fit to be the Attorney General for the state of Texas.
This whole case is a whole lot of nothing. What happens here will have consequences no matter how it turns out.
With Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick presiding, the trial began after senators refused to dismiss the impeachment articles during the pretrial motions. The first witness to take the stand for the prosecution was Jeff Mateer. He's Paxton's former second in command. He also accuses former boss of committing crimes. Now, the trial resumes tomorrow morning. We don't know exactly when it's going to end, but it's probably going to go into next week. Of course, we're also streaming that entire trial for you live on our website, KSAT.com.
No flesh, no muscle, nothing. No arm left but bone.
Gruesome. But that's what a San Antonio neighborhood witnessed as a man sitting in his yard was brutally mauled by 2 pit bulls. Happened this morning. It's at least the 5th dog mauling that we've reported to you since February. The night team's Patty Santos talks to those who helped save the man's life.
I just happened to come out, see the carnage going on, ran inside. The first thing I did was grab my pistol and come back out here.
Gun and phone in hand, Chuck Sutton says he called for help as dogs attacked his friend in the man's own yard.
You ever seen what a bear can do to a human body? That's about the best I can describe it.
Other neighbors along Heidelberg Street also tried to step in.
I threw a block at center block at the dog.
John Swimley says the dogs were not easily scared off.
Well, he came after me, and I ran like a mother, you know what I mean? And I was shaking. He almost got me going over the fence. And he tried going after the other guys too.
I'm holding them dogs at bay with my pistol. And then the ambulance gets here and they didn't want to go in the yard because the dogs were still in my yard.
Tuesday's dog attack is the 5th mauling KSAT has reported on within Bexar County since February. One of them was fatal. Animal Care Services says it has investigated 28 cases involving serious injuries this fiscal year. There are 111 dogs legally designated as dangerous within the city and another 123 dogs listed as aggressive. Witnesses say the dogs in this latest incident were not known for biting.
I don't know if he's going to be all right, but I pray that he is.
Police say the man in his 40s has severe bite injuries to both his arms and stomach. They say the dogs were let out in their own yard but escaped the fence. Both are now in a state-mandated quarantine.
I'm telling you guys, it's the worst injuries I've seen ever to a human body.
Patty Santos, KSAT 12 News.
17-year-old girl at the center of a Metroplex Amber Alert is now facing a capital murder charge. An Amber Alert for Natalie Navarro went out last Friday after a deadly shooting investigation wrapped up in Garland, which is just outside of Dallas. She was identified as a person of interest in the death investigation the very same day that Amber Alert was issued. Garland police say that Navarro was in grave danger, and that's what prompted the Amber Alert. Webb County jail records show that police arrested Navarro the same day that Amber Alert came out, and now she's being held on a $1 million bond. Now, San Antonio police are really trying to make sense of a shooting last night that left a man in critical condition. This one happened on Bandera Road near Loop 410. Police are saying that a man flagged them down, saying that someone shot his friend. Now, police also say that that man and his friend had actually confronted a woman, flashed a gun, then pulled the trigger but missed her, and that's when someone fired at those men and hit one of them. Now, police don't know who that shooter was. Now, police are investigating what led up to the gunfire, and also they're trying to figure out if anybody's going to be charged here. The Alamos Park Police Chief is out after 9 years on the job. Now, we weren't given an exact reason as to why Rene Valenciano's out of a job. Now, we asked the Alamos Park Police Department. It did verify that there had been no internal investigations into the former chief within the last year.
And if you're keeping track, today was our 69th 100-degree day so far this year. And we'll keep tallying them up. Actually, record challenging heat. I think we'll see some record highs drop over the next several days. I'll break those down for you. And then we're looking forward to a shift in our weather pattern that gives us a shot at rain in the extended forecast, and Tropical Storm Lee quickly strengthening in the Atlantic. I'll see you in a bit.
All right, Adam, thank you. Now let's go to your Nightbeat News Flash for a look at some of today's big headlines. You heard about this, right? United Airlines says that a software update is what triggered a glitch that prevented its planes from taking off temporarily, but it was nationwide. The delays lasted about an hour. United Airlines says that they were not related to cybersecurity. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, United crews were not able to contact airline dispatchers through normal means. Flights that were already airborne continue to their final destinations as planned. So we should mention tonight everything is back to normal. Former Proud Boys leader Enrique Tarrio has been sentenced to 22 years in prison for orchestrating a failed plot to keep Donald Trump in power after losing the 2020 presidential election. Now, this represents the longest sentence stemming from the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol. During the sentencing hearing, a judge called Tarrio's actions a, quote, crime of terrorism. Tarrio was convicted of several charges, including seditious conspiracy. So you can call this peer pressure of a different kind. You saw this video. Around 20 students at the University of Wisconsin are recovering after that pier collapse. Scary stuff. The group was celebrating Labor Day when that structure just came down. Only one person was taken to the hospital. And that's a look at your Nightbeat News Flash. Okay, so back here at home, you need to know about this. 2 sections of Broadway near downtown are going to be closed for the rest of the year for construction. We're specifically talking about Broadway from 4th Street to McCullough Avenue and also 6th Street to Brooklyn. Those places are going to be closed through December. People are still going to have access to the businesses that are along that area and near Broadway. Also, pedestrians can still use the sidewalks on both sides. This is all part of the next phase of the 2017 Lower Broadway bond project. Stick around. I have a question for you. I know it's a lot. It's something that a lot of us have wondered. Do you worry about your kids spending too much time on TikTok? Yeah, it turns out your concerns are valid because there are long-term effects of constantly watching short videos. We'll tell you what local experts are saying and also how you can help. TikTok brain. Yeah, it's a thing. That's what some experts in medicine and education are calling a condition where kids who constantly consume things in 15-second bursts just can't seem to focus on long-form communication. Of course, with the growing popularity of TikTok, it really could become a condition that we see more and more often. By the way, don't just look at the kiddos because it's also an issue for adults, but the concern is actually higher for children because their brains are still developing.
They are using scientific information about how our brain works to keep us coming back. And so some of those loops have to do with dopamine, which can be associated with addiction, for example.
So that was Dr. Barbara Robles Ramamurthy, a psychiatrist with UT Health San Antonio. She says that social media, though, isn't all negative, but parents should make sure that their kids aren't consuming too much of it.
If they cannot put their phone down for more than an hour without checking it, right? Or if it's impacting their ability to listen in lecture, or if they cannot even have a phone conversation, then that might be a sign that it's time to take a break.
That also applies to adults, too, I think. You can read more about TikTok brain right now over on KSAT.com. Okay, while you're on our website, we also want you to check this out. Listen carefully. Animal Care Services says that San Antonio is seeing a surge in people calling about bats. Yeah. So ACS is trying to clear up some common misconceptions about the flying mammal. Just look for that article on our website for more information. This is truly, truly fascinating stuff. So we just looked this up. Bats, it turns out, are very active in the heat, but they do have a threshold. They can't take temperatures any warmer than 104 degrees right now. A live picture outside says it's 89 degrees out there right now, but back to 104 degrees. We're just going to be under that this week, right?
We are. It looks like just a hair under that for a part of this week. And actually, we can get right to the high temperature forecast because we are expecting some records to fall. Now, the bats will be okay, but check out Friday up to 103. So pretty close to their threshold there. And notice basically through Sunday triple digits. But the next 4 days in a row, we are predicting to tie or exceed the record high for the day, anywhere from 102 to 103. And actually, it wouldn't surprise me if we hit 104 on Friday. Today, 103 was our high. Notice that's 10 degrees above average. The record, 111. I had to point that out. 111 because that was in the year 2000, and that's the hottest temperature we've ever recorded in San Antonio. Records go back to the late 1800s. Elsewhere, mostly triple digits. New Braunfels 105 today, along with Cotulla. Those were two of the hot spots. And across the state, by and large, triple digits. But I do want to show you, there is some cooler air out there. You look at the green color on the base map indicating 60s and 70s for high temperatures today. Don't worry, our time will come. We just need more patience. Our time for that will eventually come. Right now, though, we're dealing with the upper level high, the big blue H. It's creeping its way back into West Texas, and this is going to be in control of our weather and grip our pattern for the rest of the work week and the start of the weekend. But then notice then it pushes westward, and it's over the Baja Peninsula basically early next week. That gives us this northerly steering flow aloft, and it opens the door for energy and ripples in the upper level flow to move overhead and help generate showers and storms, as well as if anything develops in New Mexico or even West Texas, the leftovers could move our way. So we do have a 20 to 30% chance starting Monday in the afternoon and evening, then again Tuesday, and then Monday, and then on Tuesday, we boosted a little bit up to 30%. And Tuesday right now has the highest potential of better rain chances. We're just not there yet to actually boost them, but the potential does exist. So check back in for updates as that time gets a little bit closer and we start looking for some of those disturbances to move overhead. Tropical Storm Lee, way out in the Atlantic, but this is a rapidly intensifying system. It is strengthening very quickly, and it's not often the National Hurricane Center actually predicts a Category 4 that far out into the forecast. Usually they'd cut it off closer to a 3, but they're pretty confident this will at least be a 4 by Friday evening. And that would be winds of 130, and then winds up to 150 by Sunday as it's between Bermuda and San Juan, Puerto Rico. Right now, model indications are to curve this away from the U.S., but those are long-term models. And as experience shows, they're not always the most accurate. So we have to watch that, especially for the East Coast. 90 degrees right now, dew point is 65. That wind out of the southeast steady at 17. So it's pretty gusty, and that's boosting our mugginess. Our dew points are spiking again this evening. And then tomorrow morning, it's going to be humid and muggy, but by the afternoon, we'll start to have that drier air as the heat really settles in. Some low clouds early, 7 a.m., mostly cloudy, 79 degrees. Same story at 8 o'clock. Then total sunshine at noon at 91 degrees. High temperature, 102. Hit that around 4 or 5 p.m. Not much of a wind either. Southeast at only 5 to 10 miles per hour. Helotes tomorrow 98, but Timberwood Park 100, Converse 101, Seguin 102, Lavernia 103. You get the idea. We have more heat, and I put the records on the top of the screen so you can make that comparison, but I only put them on the days here where we're expecting to tie or break the record high. Notice that little drop in temperatures. That's banking on extra clouds and some showers developing Monday, Tuesday timeframe.
I'll take the little drop. All right. Thank you, Adam. We talked about this last night, all right, the Astros and the Rangers, and boy, was there a wipeout.
There was, and just a little bit of a sneak peek, there was a little bit of that again today, Stephanie. Game 2 of a pivotal 3-game series between the Houston Astros and Texas Rangers in Arlington. Plus,
Streaming now.
This is inhumane. This is unacceptable.
It's over 100 degrees outside, but inside the walls of Texas prisons, it's even hotter.
There are people dying in their 30s.
During the hottest part of the day, I feel dizzy, see stars, and feel like I'm going to vomit.
Do you know that the dog pounds even have air conditioner? But the state of Texas prisons don't? That's pretty sick.
Watch the full story now on these streaming platforms.
it's Game 2 of the high-stakes Lone Star Series with the Houston Astros and Texas Rangers going toe-to-toe in Arlington. First inning, he's been unstoppable. Jose Altuve goes yard to open up scoring for Houston, and it didn't stop there. Altuve homers in his first 3 at-bats of the game. Altuve becoming the 4th player in MLB history to homer 3 times in the first 3 innings. He was the story of the night as the Astros bashed the Rangers 14-1 to take sole possession of first place in the AL West for the first time this season. Tomorrow, get your popcorn ready. 3-time Cy Young winners Max Scherzer of Texas and Justin Verlander of Houston will pitch against each other for the first time in this series finale. We
are one day closer to the I-35 rivalry game between UTSA and Texas State at the Alamo Dome. Today we took a trip to San Marcos to hear from the Bobcats, who are coming off of a huge win over Baylor. The two head coaches in this game go back decades. RJ Marquez tells us more about the unique relationship between Jeff Traylor and GJ Kinney.
Well, there's a lot of great angles and relationships when it comes to this Texas State UTSA rivalry, and the biggest one being the relationship between Jeff Traylor and GJ Kinney. They've known each other since GJ was just in high school, was just a sophomore in high school, in fact. So Coach Kinney today talked about that relationship with Coach Traylor and what Jeff has meant for him in the coaching ranks.
Jeff's always one of those people that, you know, when he speaks, I listen and take it to heart. A lot of things that we do today are things that he told me, you know, back then, and whether it's high school or SMU or Arkansas. So he has a lot of wisdom, won a bunch of games and all that kind of good stuff together. But, you know, being in his son's wedding and being a part of that was really cool. I have nothing but respect for him, and no matter what happens on the game on Saturday, you know, me and Coach Traylor, ain't nothing gonna change there.
I know GJ will have his team very prepared. They'll play with swagger, they'll play with confidence. He tells you what it's gonna look like. I don't know where he got that from.
And while both coaches said that communication will be limited between them heading up to game day and kickoff, Coach Kinney told us today that he did send Coach Jeff Traylor a picture of a Whataburger he recently ate, kind of just poking at the fact that Coach Traylor apparently just now eats salads. Should be a lot of fun this Saturday at the Alamo Dome. Mary, back to you.
That is too good. All right, after the break, we provide an update on Dallas Cowboys prized guard Tyler Smith.
Football coverage brought to you by Davis Law Firm.
The Dallas Cowboys' already thin offensive line may have taken a hit, with the team confirming starting guard Tyler Smith is dealing with a hamstring strain that slowed him down during Monday's practice. It's still unknown whether or not this injury will affect Smith's status for Sunday's regular season opener. The health of the O-line is crucial as Dallas prepares for its divisional clash with the Giants Sunday night.
You know, this is game one. You know, winning that first game is, especially on the road, is always seems a little tougher, you know, than the others. So that's really where my mind's at. But you know, last year, it's great. It's a testament to what they've accomplished, and you know, and what they're trying to get done into the playoffs. I think shows really well for our division. I mean, this is a super competitive division. We're expecting that again. I think all four teams have an opportunity to be in the playoff hunt.
The Houston Texans are faced with a difficult Week 1 matchup as the team prepares for the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens finished last NFL season with a 10-7 record, and now that Baltimore quarterback Lamar Jackson has secured his hefty contract, he is working hard to get to an MVP-level season, and they've added more weapons around him.
We know Lamar is an athletic quarterback. You know he can get loose, cause his defense a lot of problems because of his athleticism, but he also can throw the ball. And from the looks of it, they've added a lot of, you know, explosive weapons on the offensive side at the receiver position to throw the ball more. So, you know, we would think that they're going to throw the ball, but knowing the Ravens and their style, right, they want to run the ball. They want to be a physical football team. So I think it'll be a healthy mix of both.
It'll be fun to see the rookie duo D'Amico and Stroud make their debuts. And Thursday is already the start of the season. Thursday night football.
That's all right. And this pumpkin spice latte is also back now. I mean, it's good. It's
yes,
good
life is good.
I know we're just trying to bring in the warmer weather. Thank you. Or the cooler weather, I should say. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for keeping us company during this last half hour. 102 degrees tomorrow, the 70th day of more than 100-degree temperatures. We'll get through it together. Have a good night.